The sun beat down on the sleepy city of Gary, Indiana. Dust motes danced in the single ray of light that pierced the gloom of Baker's barn, illuminating the apple-red curves of the F6 Piston, a 1949 Ford shoebox. "Sounds good, Wayne," she said with a hint of a smile on her lips. "Ready for tomorrow?" "Almost, Dad," Wayne replied, his gaze fixed on the engine. "Just a few more tweaks." Uncle Joe, a thin man with grease permanently under his nails, approached, a key dangling from his hand. "Don't get too nervous now, Wayne," he laughed. "I know, Uncle Joe, but sometimes you have to take a little risk to move forward." The barn door creaked open and Rose Baker, Wayne's mother, entered, her face a mix of concern and disapproval. "Wayne, are you still here? It's getting late. You need to rest for the race tomorrow." Wayne exchanged a glance with his father and uncle. He knew what his mother wanted. She wanted him to give up this crazy idea, as she called it, and get a stable job. It was a respectable profession, she insisted, a secure future, but for Wayne, the railway was a cage, a life he couldn't imagine. His heart belonged to the roar of the engine, the thrill of the race, the freedom of the open road. John placed a hand on her arm. "Rose, give it a break. It's just a hobby." "A hobby that will get you into trouble," she replied. "Mark my words." Wayne clenched his jaw. He loved his mother but wished she could understand his passion, his dream. "I wanted to show her that careers weren't a dead end. It was her path, her destiny." He looked back at the F6 Piston, its red paint shining under the single light bulb. Tomorrow he would show everyone. The fairgrounds were buzzing with chaotic energy. The aroma of popcorn and hot dogs mingled with the exhaust fumes from the race cars. Wayne, with his heart pounding in his chest, stood beside the F6 Piston, the roar of the crowd like a deafening wave. Saw Jill and Katie in the crowd, their faces a blur of excitement. Jill, with her bright red hair and contagious laugh, was Wayne's best friend. The flag dropped, and the race began. The cars roared to life, a symphony of speed and power. Wayne pushed the F6 Piston to the limit, the engine screaming in protest. He slipped between the cars, his eyes fixed on the track ahead. The dust swirled around the vehicles, obscuring the view. On the final lap, Wayne saw his opportunity. He accelerated, the F6 Piston responding with a surge of power. He surpassed his rival, crossing the finish line in a cloud of dust. He had won. The crowd erupted, their cheers echoing across the fairgrounds. Wayne stepped out of the car, his face flushed with victory. Saw Jill and Katie in the crowd. Jill was jumping with joy, waving her arms while Katie smiled, her eyes shining. He had managed to do it. He had earned his place, and the roar of the crowd was a sweet reward. Finally, he had achieved what he wanted. He felt invincible, and the world was his. At that moment, the future seemed bright, their dreams of speed and love intertwined in a new reality. It was the beginning of something special, a journey full of excitement and challenges, an adventure where each race would bring him closer to his dreams. With his friends by his side and the trophy in hand, Wayne knew that this was just the first step towards something much bigger. Each race would be a new challenge, a new opportunity to prove their worth and continue pursuing their dreams. The roar of the engine continued to echo in his mind, marking the beginning of a new era in his life. It was time to embrace those dreams and burn with the same passion that he put into every race. Now he was determined to follow his path, no matter the obstacles that lay ahead. She knew that each race was an opportunity to move forward and make her dreams come true. With the roar of the engine echoing in his heart, Wayne was ready to face whatever came his way, with his passion guiding him towards new horizons. The future was full of possibilities, and together they were ready to face it, driven by speed and friendship. Night after night, dreams would turn into goals and goals into realities thanks to the strength of their passion. Every star in the sky was a reminder that every dream is achievable as long as one is willing to fight for it. I knew that the journey was just beginning, and that with each race more stories would be written on the road to their dreams. With the support of his loved ones and his own determination, he was ready to conquer any challenge that came his way. That night, as she watched the dancing flames, she knew that the roar of its engine would echo in her life forever. I was at the beginning of an adventure that promised to be unforgettable, filled with speed, excitement, and love. With every roar of the engine, he felt his destiny calling him, a path full of opportunities to discover. With excitement bubbling in the air, they knew the future was theirs for the taking, a journey full of challenges and triumphs to come. With the roar of the engine resonating in his heart, Wayne knew that each race brought him closer to his dreams. With the taste of victory still fresh in his mouth, he was more determined than ever to race into the future.